I'm all up in it. Clouds when it's pouring rain. Ain't never coming.
Okay, so I'm gonna quickly talk about my experience with 88rising. Because it's probably taking forever to actually record the video. So this is the next day I just woke up. First off, I was kind of pissed off at I was thinking I was gonna be late because I reached I think 25 minutes or 30 minutes than what I wanted to reach, but then that ended up being okay because the wheel call or whatever it's called wasn't so bad, so I was able to get my ticket really quick, so I was able to enter fast. What really pissed me off is the fact that I brought water because I get hydrated real quick, so I needed I had to throw my water bottle apparently, so that was really annoying. So yeah, I poured out my water thinking it would be okay to go in with my water bottle. So then I'm going back here, or I'm going back to the check in the front, and then they're like, oh no, you can't take that. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? What do you mean I can't take the freaking bottle? It's just a bottle. Why can't I go in the empty bottle? And they're like, I'm sorry, but yeah, you have to leave it. You can go with it, blah blah blah. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it, okay, here, take it. And she's like, but you can come back and get it. I'm like, whatever, I'm already so pissed, I don't give a shit. But make sure you keep it, because they just dumped it on top of the bin that they're supposed to put them in. And I was like, yeah, I'm not saying that thing again. And it's it's not really one of my favorites, but it's small and stuff, so it's good for the bag that I always carry, my other smaller bag that I decided to carry today, which is thank God, because I would have probably been told to throw my bag. But anyways, yeah, so I go in, and then at this point I'm so confused, because I'm just what the hell just happened? And I'm like, okay, let me go find my seat. So I go in, and at least I'm in A, so A is right where the entrance is. So I first check out the merch, because I was I always buying merch at concerts and stuff, but only if I really like something. So I checked out the merch, and there's nothing that was really calling out to me, because I out of all the 8rising people, mostly I like Brian, Rich Brian, Nikki, August A, and I kind of like the High Brothers, whatever I call them. It was kind of I didn't like anything as much. There was I think Koho or either Kip Ape, they had a shirt. One of them, I'm not sure, because I got those two confused since I don't know them as well as much as good. I don't know, that doesn't make right English. It's not right English. But if I find the picture online, I'll put on the side. They had a shirt which I liked, but I didn't know them like that, so I was not gonna buy it. And I didn't really like the 8rising shirts as too much. I would have probably bought a hoodie, but the price would have been insane. So anyways, yeah, I didn't really like something that much. Then I was like, okay, where is my seat? I don't know if I looked for my seat first or whatever, but who cares? So I go ask the guy where my seat is, around which area. So then he tells me, and I'm like, okay, you know what, let me get food first, because I hadn't eaten all day. Literally all I ate was a protein bar or whatever. So yeah, I go buy food. Of course it has to be triple O's, which I'm so pissed. And I was like, I'm not sure if I want to buy a drink or not. But anyways, I buy the burger, one of my favorite. Because triple O's is so expensive. Just for the bun itself, the burger, it's $8. That's so much. I can get that whole set from A&W for a burger and fries and probably a drink. Even McDonald's. I don't take McDonald's as much because I hate McDonald's. Unfortunately, that's the only option. I think, I don't know if it was pizza or any other hot dog or something like that, but for what I saw the closest to where I was, that was all I could see. So I got the bun, ask how much the fries is, or like, I mean the drink, and it's like $3, and I'm like, that's not worth it. And the fries was, I don't remember how much the fries was. So I'm like, whatever, I won't take it. So I get my food. Then I'm like, I might as well just go buy a drink, like alcohol. It's like $8, the same price as the freaking burger. And I'm like, oh shit, whatever, like, it's gonna get late, or even though it's not, like, I might as well just drink. So I go get Pombe, one of my favorite drinks, and then I get my seat. So it was so funny because like the ladies who were there, I was asking them like where my seat was, and then they were like, it was so funny because my seat is A1616, so it's like they were asking me, okay, so I'm like, where is this? I'm looking for A16, and then they're like, it's here. Which seat is it? I'm like 16. And then they're like, yeah, row 16 is here. So what's your seat? I'm like 16. And they're like, huh? Then I'm like, yeah, my seat is A1616. And then they're like, oh, they start laughing. And then they're like, oh, it's been a long night or something like that. I've been listening to numbers all day, something like that. I liked my seat because like it was all there in the back. So if I had to stand or anything, like no, I wouldn't be blocking anyone like that. And I won't feel so awkward. Like the seats were awkward by themselves, like in itself, because they were like not stadium. How do I explain? Like ice hockey weird stadium seats. I hate those seats. They're like so small, and then like the handles were like hurting me if I like get up or something. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, I get my seat. I'm chilling. I'm waiting, and I'm like, oh yeah. Before like when I first got in and I saw the seats, I was like, it's so small. I was like, the stadium is so tiny. Like, oh my god, it's like, I don't even know. It's almost the size of like, I don't even know how to explain what the size is, but it's really small compared to like the theaters I've been. I wish I was like in a more compact place, because then it wouldn't feel so bad. But then it would have sold out probably, so I'm not complaining. So I sit there for like maybe 30 minutes or so, like probably 40. So the show I think starts maybe 7, okay, say 7:11, about around there. Shout out that song, but anyways, and then the guy comes in. What's his name? Don. I forget the second part of it, but I think he's like he I don't know where he is exactly, but I know he's a kind of like a producer or DJ or something like that, and he does. I think I don't know if he has his own like song, like if it's a cover or whatever. But I think he has a song or something. I don't know much of him. I literally just found out about him today or yesterday rather. And then after that it was, I think August came out, right? No, of course there was a break, which I really hate. Like the way the system of this concert, I didn't like it. Like in the sense of like it wasn't flowing, or even though they had breaks, their breaks were like so awkward. In the sense of they put on the lights back on, and then it's just like the beginning of the show. And like I'm used to, okay, at least the concerts I've gone to so far, I'm used to them being continuous, and if there's a break, it's like they have a video or something, or they have some, like basically some sort of entertainment. Even though they did have music playing in the back, it was still too weird for me. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I have like, because I've been to stadium concerts, have I been to like ground concerts, like field concerts? I think I've only been to maybe one, and I don't remember that too well because the person only did like maybe a couple of songs and then they were done, so didn't really need to like get off stage and then come back on. There's one I did in PNE, but not the the center, the what do you call that place? I did it in like, there's a place where in the back of PNE where like there's a stage kind of thing, so it's like stairs basically. The sitting is rocks. So like I did one there, but I don't remember that one too well because like there are many selected artists like this one, but I only went for like 2 people. So like I only went for that set. I didn't go for all the previous ones, so I don't know how the in-betweens were. So yeah, anyways, it's probably normal for this kind of thing where there are like multiple artists like singing. So anyways, so August said I liked his. Like I really wish he did Father Issues. Like oh my god, I love that song. Like that's my favorite song of his. Like it's unfortunate that like okay, apart from Brian did all the songs I like. But like everyone like didn't do the songs I like. So I was like, eh. But anyways, I loved, oh my god, at least he did answer, what's it called? Missed calls. Oh, I love missed calls. And then he did Separate Ways. Or what, how do you say that? And then he did Funeral. Those are my 4 songs that I love of him. Unfortunately, he didn't do Father Issues, so whatever. And he performed so well. I liked how he performed. I don't even have any more comments right now because this is kind of like fresh. I kind of like doing that, like commenting while it's fresh. So he does his set. I think he does like maybe he did. I think for what he did, he did like a couple of songs which I liked. His felt like at least he did something, and I think even though he was the first set, and I was like, oh, only that. It felt so short. But anyways, he goes, he does his thing. And then I think who is next is like the Japanese guy. I think. Is it? I probably got them mixed up, but at least I can remember them better than I did with BTS. But so the Japanese guy comes on, I think his name is Koho. Good. But anyways, he comes on, he does his song, and I'm just like, shit, this is the shit I used to listen to when I was younger. It's like that wild rock where it's just screaming, like not the whole thing, but there's like the chorus kind of part where it's just screaming. And I'm like, yep, this is because I used to be into such Japanese music back in the day. I'm still into Miyavi, but he doesn't. Him, it's mostly his guitar stuff that I'm into, which is like so hot. I love his stuff. What else? So yeah, he does his. I don't know any song of his because I know his name, but at least for him and Keith, I know their names. Actually, never mind Keith, but at least I know one song. But yeah, I don't know any of his songs. So he goes, and then I think who's next? Shit. It's either no, I think it's Nikki who is next. If I'm not mistaken, it might be Nikki. But anyways, if it's her, like she plays this video before she comes in, and I'm like, oh my god, where is she? That's when I snap and do the video, and I'm like, damn, I love this girl. Like I love her so much. Her voice is like, damn girl, you'll be going places. Cause like her, I love her songs, but I don't know the names of the songs. Apart from like of course War Paint, Vintage, and Anting the Devil. That song creeps me out. Like I like the song, but the video is like so creepy, and then the thing she did like in the stage was really creepy to me. But I like the song. Normally with these guys, not all of them, like some of them, especially like Nikki, I listen to her music in the background, so like I never see the titles unless I'm like, oh, which song is this, and then I forget like minutes later. But anyways, I still stand her. So, and then I'm like just waiting. I'm like, Vintage, please do Vintage. I'm like waiting for freaking Vintage because I'm like in love with that song. But then she doesn't do it. And then she says, oh, here's my last song. And then she does War Paint. And I'm like, well, at least she did this song because I love this song too. So, oh my god, that part was so cool. Like, where people did the whole, like, lights and stuff and everything. Like, the phones. It was really cool. So she was going, I'm like, no, girl. You should have done more songs. Like, she was the least, like, honestly. I was wanting so much more for her, like, for her to sing more. Like, I was like, girl, I love your shit so much. I want more of it. So, anyways, I think she did, like, I felt like she only did 4 songs, honestly. I don't know how many songs she did, but, like, I recorded all of them, I think I did. I'm not sure, but yeah. So then I don't know who's next, but I'm just gonna say like it was the higher brothers, or higher brothers, whatever, the Chinese guys. And then they were cool. I loved them. Like honestly, I think I only liked like 2 or 3 songs of theirs, but shit, they turned the place up. I think because most people in Vancouver, like at least the people who went to see them, were Chinese, or like into them. So like people are even standing up. Not my area. My area people are still sitting down, and a couple more people are standing up in my area. But like on the sides, everyone was standing up, and I was like, shit, they turned up this place. And then the beats were like awesome. Like my throat, like I don't know if you've ever been like in a place where loud music is playing, but your throat vibrates literally, and the stadium was vibrating. Like their beats were so sick that it was just shaking up the whole place. I loved it. I'm surprised they didn't stand up and dance, but of course I was dancing in my seat. And then they didn't do pull it down. I forget how that song goes. But they did Made in China. Of course they had to do Made in China. That's the reason I fell in love with that shit. And I was like, shit, I love this fucking song. So anyways, that was the last song. And then they went. And then I think Keith Ape was next. I was like, whoever is following these guys, it like sucks for them. Because like, oh yeah, during the, like after they were done, people are leaving. And I'm not sure if people do their meet and greet after the set. Is why people leave. I mean, is why they have like a couple of minutes before it ends, but that's too short. I'm thinking like example, like let's say the higher brothers, it's like there's so many, of course there are so many people, because at that moment so many people left the stadium, the concert or the center, whatever. And I'm like, what? Don't tell me people literally paid whatever, how much they paid just to see them and then leave the concert. And like at least till the end of the set, you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. And I think they're just going out either for the meet and greet, maybe, I have no idea, or we were going to get like refreshments or like a washroom or whatever. Even people next to me had left, so I don't know if they had also some meet and greets and stuff. So yeah, they went, and then as they came back though. So then Keith Ape comes next, and I like his intro. I like how the DJ like did his own. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say about Nikki. I love that she had a female DJ. Like you know, I'm gonna say here and say I'm a full ass feminist. So like when females do jobs which are like assumed to mostly be male, like I'm not saying DJs are always 100% male, but they're like literally 90% male. Like it's so rare to find a female DJ. So when I actually see one, I'm like, damn girl, you do your shit. I'm like getting so excited because I love that shit. So that's why I'm happy that she had a female DJ. Because as I said, that's very rare for me to see. And I think the DJ was the same for all the other sets, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure. And then like he's like, Keith, when I say Keith, you say it, Keith, it, Keith, it. And I was like, cool. Like the funny thing is, I know this is going to be so embarrassing for me to say, but I thought Keith was black. Like for the longest time. Like, because I've seen like little clips of him, but I just, in my head, I was just always thinking, like, I've freaking seen this video actually, and I don't know why in my head I didn't do more research, but in my head I was just always thinking he's black. Because like his name and then his music even is just, it's just so, it's that. But he's Korean, so like, I was like, makes sense why I love your shit, but anyways, whatever. There's a point where this guy comes in. I don't know who he is because I didn't hear his intro or whatever. So like he comes in and then they're like, I don't even know why they did this because they didn't even use it. So like they're like, oh, you're gonna have your side, I'm gonna have my side, and then we're gonna split it in the middle. So he like gets down on like literally the floor, like the P or whatever, the GA, and then he like walks through the middle and he's like, okay, so this is split, this is the left side, right side, blah blah blah. Then he goes back on stage and then they do the song, which I like that song. I think he like the other person I don't know goes to the side, like on my left side, so that's their right side. He goes to that side of the stage and I think he wants to like interact with those, like the guys sitting over there, but I don't know what the hell happens there because I saw it too late. The security freaking like starts fighting the artist. And I'm like, what? What the hell is happening? And then some other guy comes, steps in. I think he's basically saying, like, let him be, like, let him do whatever. I don't know what the hell happened. So who knows what happened there? Maybe someone was trying to get to them, and then he was the security guard was trying to separate them or something. Who knows? So anyways, that was just weird. I'm like waiting. I'm like seriously waiting for Brian to come on, and I'm like, shit, my battery is getting low. I only have like. That's why I wasn't recording all the sets like most of the time. Like after I was also recording like of course August and Nikki, but then after that I was just like whatever. I'm not going to record. The other guys, oh like the songs that I don't know. So Brian finally comes in. At this point, my battery is like 25% or 30% or something like that. And I'm like, fuck this guy. I literally came for this concert just for you. Like, yeah, I came for Nikki and everyone else. But like, if you weren't coming, I probably wouldn't have come. At this point, oh yeah, I stand up. Because I'm like, there is no way I'm sitting down for Brian's set. There is no way. I forget which song he does first. But anyways, it's funny how August is the one I remember his set like at least the most. He does Glow. What's that song? Glow blah blah blah. I love that song so much. It's one of my favorite songs of his. He does History, of course, and then I like how before all his songs he does like the talk thing. That's good performing, honestly. Like the DJ kept on saying, talk to them, Brian, talk to Vancouver." It was so funny how he kept on saying that. I liked his set. His set was like, apart from like Higher Brothers, he was definitely one of my best. I like how he does. His last song was That Steak. So like he says, oh, and we're going to do the last song, but then I don't remember the name of the song. And then he was like, and then he's like, what, do you know the name? And then the crowd says, that's Steak. I'm sad that he didn't, like, out of all the songs, I really wish he did Arizona, because I like that song. But then he did it with August A. I really love that song. I really wish he did that song. That's one of my favorite songs. And then, oh my god, one of those guys in front of me was like, I love how he screamed, like, I love you, Brian. And then he was like, oh my god, he had it. That was so awesome. Anyways. And then the guy even like next to me was like, the guy who was getting lit was like, sing Arizona. But of course he didn't shout it loud enough because his voice was probably gone. Yeah, he goes. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, tell me to the end. Because unfortunately, I don't like Joji that much. Like I don't, it's complicated. Like his music is just weird. Like the pacing of his music is weird to me. Like I don't mind slow music because I thought that was my initial not like of his music. Like some songs of his are just weird in general, but like I don't know. He weirds me a lot. It's because he's that generation of like weirdness. Like some people are like, I'm down for the weird, but for me, like there's a limit for me. So he's reached that limit. Like, yeah, I like maybe like one or two songs of his, or rather I like them now because of the concert. Like, honestly, shit, I have to say this, but like, let me first say, first of all, he came in and then he was like, I think he sang fast or something. But anyways, he was like, I'm sick, yeah, I have a fever. I'm like, hands down, props to him for doing that because that's one of the hardest things to do, especially you're sick and then you have to sing. Like your voice just sounds like shit or like you're not basically 100. He's sang so effing well. Like you can't even tell that he was freaking sick. Like you cannot, like I haven't, like as I said, I don't stand him or whatever. So I haven't had any of his sets, especially live, if I haven't had his action music. But his performance, like I wish at that point my battery was literally low. I only had I think like 15% and I was gonna leave that for my journey home. And my backup, basically, I was full. My memory was full. And I'm like, why don't I plan these things ahead of time? Because honestly, I would have recorded his shit. And I would have been like, damn, this guy can perform. Now it's making me wonder, how does he sound like when he's not sick? If he sounds this good when he's sick. So I'm like, damn, like, oh yeah, I like feel bad for him, of course. And then like, He does a couple of songs from his new album, which, okay, they're not new per se, but they're new in the sense of they just came out in his new, like, the album just got released. He did Test Drive. At that point, I didn't know the name of the song, but he did that song, and I'm like, I effing love this song. The song is good. I'm gonna search it up. So then I wrote on my Discord, I wrote, what was the word? Telling lies, because that's the thing that's stuck in my head. So then I wrote that, but of course my Discord erased it, because if there's no internet, it doesn't even save it there as a draft. So anyways, I wrote it down on my phone, on my note thing. At that point, I didn't have any space, because I think my battery ran. No, I was saving it for the last song, because I knew they were going to do Mindless, Midsummers or whatever that song of theirs. And then he said that's the first song on his freaking album. Dude, it wasn't. I was going crazy because I freaking could not find that song. And then out of the songs which are not on YouTube, it was freaking Test Drive, because I found it on Spotify. And then he does that song that's everywhere of his, the one for the clouds. So yeah, that song sounds better live. Another song I found which was interesting was I think I'll look. Oh yeah, how can I forget? The monkey one. Let me say that first before I forget. The monkey one. I'll look for the video and say the name. And then the dancing in the dark or something like that. I loved that performance. Like, that was so freaking sick. Like, I don't think I got it on tape, on like recording, but that was awesome. Like I like how when he was saying the chorus part, and then when he says dark, like the lights come on. I know it's the opposite, it should be going dark instead of light, but that part of the song was like so awesome. Like, if you listen to the songs on their own, just like they're missing that sauce. For me, they're missing that sauce. At least Test Drive, thank God, is still the same, even in its audio form. So then he goes, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's the end of the set, because I know they probably left the best for last, because I know many people like him, and if I'm gonna say that I don't like him, I'm probably going to get so many dislikes, but that's just my opinion. I'm sorry, okay? And as I can say, he does have some sort of talent, so I'm not gonna like, I get why people like him, okay? And I might like him someday, you know. It's not like permanent. In the end, they do like a short quick break, and then everyone comes on stage, and then they sing their song. Everyone sang. Oh my god, the crowd was so awesome. You know, for me, that's another thing that really makes a concert really. Oh yeah, I don't even mention in the beginning. Like, first of all, it was just awkward. That's what I was saying. Like, the stage, like the stadium was small, but the center was small, but it wasn't small enough. I feel like if everyone was kind of compact, like, I hate that they say the general entrance was full, but then clearly it wasn't. I would have totally have bought a ticket for general and GA if it was compact, like how I've seen a lot of videos of theirs, like in theater houses. Then that would have been cool, because then you feel you feel the vibe of everyone around you. Like, that's the good thing about being in a full stadium. Like, yeah, it can be so claustrophobic and everything, but like, the fact that you're feeling the energy of everyone else is like what makes it more fun. At least for me, I'll say. First of all, like, not everyone will like everyone. Like, some people probably came for one or two people or whatever, three. Not everyone. So like, it was kind of annoying how like they didn't get as much love, especially for me, August 8th, because I freaking like the guy. He's new, yes. I think he came out sometime this year. I'm not sure if it was the previous, in 2017, but as far as my research goes, at least I know he came out this year. And then they're like, oh, okay, back in Vancouver, we love you, blah blah. And they're like, get home safe. So I was like, yeah, the set is over. Hopefully they don't have like a mini thing at the end, which I doubt they would have. So yeah, that's it, we're done. So like, we walk out, and then I'm like, wait, I thought she said I can just come back here and get my bottle, because like they had like tables over there while they're doing check. Like, they don't even have a secure security thing. They just check your pockets, like, and check your bag, hand. They don't even have like a metal detector. Whatever. I'm not even going to judge. But anyways, yeah, I go back out there, like at the door, but then there's like no one there. And I wonder, one thing I noticed is that there are people smoking in there or vaping or whatever. But like, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed smoking there. So I think even a couple of times the security guards were coming to check. by that point they weren't smoking. Maybe that's why there were like a couple of security guards like roaming around. Yeah, I go to ask the woman. First of all, I'm talking to her and she's not even listening to me. She's about to walk away, literally. Okay, first of all, people never hear me half the time. It's annoying. I have this like soft-spoken voice sometimes, so it's like the most annoying thing ever. Or I mumble. So like she didn't hear me, so basically just talking to a woman who was about to walk away. So anyways, yeah, I tap her and then she's like, oh, you can just go here. So now I'm about to go there, then the security guy is like, don't touch, not me, but a guy before me. He was like, don't you dare touch her. What do you think you're doing? So anyways, the guy gets like his bottle. Like he asks what, how does it look like? Red, blah, blah. I'm like, mine is pink. I get my bottle and then I go home. And then that's it. First of all, it was so funny because like, I was like, oh, I'll just go back the same way I came. Nope, that bus stops running at 8 o'clock. Freaking effing 8 o'clock. Which bus stops running at that time? Like, honestly, that's too early. But anyways, I think it's because at least there's a bus. I don't know when that bus ends, but at least there's a bus a few blocks away. Like, I could have taken 95, but I was like, that's gonna be so busy. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to see someone. I'm like, I have to walk 7 minutes down. I'm like, at least that bus stop was like 4 minutes away. So that's why I was like, I'd rather walk to that one. But then I ended up walking 7 minutes anyways because I had to go to the main road on the top. So anyways, I take whatever that bus, and then at least I'm able to go home. Because at this point, like, I know I'm going to reach home at midnight, and I'm like wondering if I'll reach downtown by midnight. At least I didn't. I reached before midnight, so I was still good at getting another bus. So anyways, yeah, I got home and all that's it. It was a good concert. I won't even lie, like, it was dull in the sense of like people aren't getting us stand up enough. Because honestly, I believe like oh yeah, let me comment. So like, because that's what I mean by feeling people's energy. Like, yeah, there's these people who are getting like lit in front of me, or like just a couple of people. But like, it was so funny that I don't know if I think he stood before, but I'm not sure. But anyways, the guy next to me, like, he's a couple of seats next to me, but still he's next to me, only stood up while I stood up. So I think if I had stood up during higher brothers, he would have stood up because he was really into them. I could tell, but he wasn't like, of course, standing or whatever. But when I stood up for Brian, he was like getting more courage to stand up. So he was like standing up during set, and then like even he was standing up during Georgie's set. So it was so interesting to see that. That's what I mean by like getting people's energies and vibes. Because like most people, as I said, they're just chill. Like, oh my god, these people on my left side now, like they are opposite the stairs. I don't even know why they came. They didn't even get turned up at all for any song. I think the guy was just coming because of his girlfriend. I think it's one of those things. Or like they were coming because of their friends. Because I couldn't see them. So I don't know if they were getting turned up or like enjoying the music. But like, yeah, like some people, they go for concerts, literally they just sit down. I'm like, who sits down in a concert? Like, if it's a slow concert, yeah, because I can tell that some songs like were slow for like Georgie, and of course like Nikki. Some of their songs are slow. But like, to me, it's so weird. So like, this is literally the first concert that I've sat down in. All the other concerts, like, of course I was either forced to stand, or like it was too late for me to sit down. I'm done doing my summary. I don't know how I'll edit this or re-talk of this. I might even just use this audio. I don't even know. I'm really tired right now. I'm not tired, but I'm just kind of really sleepy still. But anyways, that's all I remember right now. I hope I did not forget anything. If I did, oh well, hopefully I'll remember it when I'm actually doing the video. But anyways, guys, oh, girl, I don't know if I'll release this. Toodles. I'll see you later. Much love.